The severe earthquake that struck Friday at night in central Morocco raised questions about the reasons for its occurrence in an area that has not witnessed in the past decade strong earthquakes, and the heavy human and material losses that are unfolded successively, foretelling the strength of this earthquake in a Moroccan region that is far from the well-known seismic belts. Hani Lawson, head of the Seismic Monitoring Department in Morocco, says that the Al-Haus region, southwest of the city of Marrakesh, says an area known for its weak seismic activity, whether in terms of number or in terms of strength, and often the earthquake registered in the region did not exceed 5 degrees on the Richter ladder, and therefore it is not a candidate historically to know an earthquake of this size and strength. Lawson adds in a statement to the island that the main factor that determines the destructive power of any earthquake is its intensity, but there is a second worker. It is the extent of the earthquake center near the surface of the earth, and in the case of an earthquake of Al-Haus, the earthquake depth is 8 kilometers, which is a level close to the surface, which contributed to increasing the earthquake strength compared to previous earthquakes that occurred at a depth of 30 kilometers, for example. The Moroccan expert explains that the seismic activity in Morocco is mainly the result of the collision of African tectonic and improvised plates, and he adds that although the province of Al-Haus is far from the plate collision line, the pressures exerted on the geological layers due to this collision lead to earthquakes, although violent earthquakes occur usually at the collision line, which indicates that the energy resulting from the collision of the two plates has spanned hundreds of years. Anis Shatnawi, a specialist in construction and earthquake engineering at the University of Jordan, Anis Shatnawi, says that the earthquake of the Al-Haus region has occurred at a distance of 550 kilometers from the boundaries of the tectonic plate between the African and the Eurasian plate, and therefore earthquakes are rare to fall into this region, but it remains expected. The Jordanian expert states that the African plate is moving by 24 millimeters towards the Euro-Asian plate, in a continuous movement, and therefore there is a need for some time until the tectonic plates stabilize after the earthquake. Shatnawi adds in a previous bulletin to the island that since the year 1900, 9 earthquakes occurred in Morocco with a strength of 6 degrees, and he says that the earthquake yesterday, Friday, occurred in an area of 2,000 meters above sea level, and in which there is an opposite, covered in sliding seismic, but it is rare to fall into the area of earthquake regularly. According to Shatnawi, it is fortunate that the focus of the Moroccan earthquake was not in a very dense residential area, but the fear is from the occurrence of rock slips due to the movement of the earthquake in a mountainous area, and thus causes damage to facilities and roads. The Lebanese expert in geology and earthquakes, Khalil Zain, warns that it is known in the world of geology that the energy that combines geological layers during hundreds and tens of years may turn into small or severe earthquakes, albeit in areas unknown to its seismic activity. Zain adds in a statement to the island that the occurrence of the Moroccan earthquake in a mountainous area leads to greater damage, because the mountainous areas are made up of local and cracks, and nuts, and it is known that the construction of any building in an area that requires more compared to other non-mountainous areas due to these geological characteristics. Hani Lawson, head of the Seismic Monitoring Department in Morocco, says that it is not possible to occur after the tsunami waves after the Haus earthquake, because this natural catastrophe occurred on land among the Atlas Mountains, and not in the depth of the Atlantic Ocean, while the tsunami waves necessarily produce when the earthquake occurred in the depth of the sea. A specialist in construction and earthquake engineering at the University of Jordan explains that the tsunami occurs when the earthquake focus is in the deep ocean, as seismic waves are transmitted across the sea waves to the bays. Shatnawi stressed the absence of any relationship between the occurrence of earthquakes and the high temperatures, as earthquakes are the result of what is going on inside the earth layers and their components, whether the shell, its depth ranges between 15 and 70 kilometers, then followed by layers of the rock or semi-shaky, or in the liquid layers with the depth of the earth. The earthquakes are located at different depths, and when it occurs until 70 kilometers of depth, we call shallow earthquakes, the same spokesman added.